pigment stuff up as soon as you ever get in that car.
Are you excited? Tell them where we're going.
Mexico.
We're going to Mexico for the first time. We're going to Mexico City.
Beauty ridiculous, and I'm so good, I'm shivering.
Hey guys, it's me, Imani, and in this vlog, we're obviously not in the United States. We're not at home. We're not in Philly. Nowhere near where I'm usually at. In this vlog, me and my family have gone to Mexico City, Mexico. This is actually all of our first times being in Mexico. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to take you guys on this journey with me. The reason why we went to Mexico is because my cousin is actually studying. She's getting her PhD, and she's studying and living in Mexico. So we were like, hey, why don't we just go visit her before we all start back with our vigorous work and school schedules. So, you know, a last bit of summer, a little hoorah before we go back to our usual busy, regular scheduled program, okay? For anybody interested in going back to college, my cousin actually has a YouTube channel, a successful YouTube channel, okay, where she talks about graduate school, getting her doctorate, tips on how you can do it, financial tips, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in checking out her YouTube channel, it will be tagged on the screen and linked in the description below. Also, you might as well get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Pop up a chair, get a drink, continue to watch this like it's your favorite TV show, and hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Like, more videos on the way, more travel videos, everything that you're interested in is all coming to you. So you might as well hit the button so that way you're always notified when I post a video. So here's a quick little walk around tour of our Airbnb. Again, we stayed in Mexico City, but the neighborhood that we were in is called Roma Norte. This Airbnb was actually really, really nice. I think it was well priced as well, not too expensive. It was a 2-bedroom and 1.5 bath. It was really nice. The only bad thing, or not bad, but the only thing was the kitchen was fairly small. But it was very nice, well decorated, very comfortable. It was a safe and secure neighborhood. It was very easy to find things. Everything that we needed was in walking distance. There was a pharmacy across the street. There was like a convenience store across the street. There were a whole bunch of restaurants and ice cream stores and things like that within walking distance. We didn't have to go too far for anything. So it was really nice. So if you're ever going to go stay in Mexico City or Roma Norte specifically, please look down in the description and look for this Airbnb.
La otra es con todo, ¿verdad? ¿Normal?
La última normal. Exacto. Entonces,
I could feel it on my back. Like, you can put it back.
crispy chicken, por favor, sin guacamole y sin pepinillos. Ahí está. Look at
Guacamole. Perfecto.
Y tengo preguntita. ¿El short rib es de res o de puerco?
De res.
De res, quiero eso, por favor.
Ok. Todo va con papas fritas, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Sí.
Is that short rib a sandwich?
Oh, she was short rib. I ain't said, y'all ain't never got no short.
Yeah, that's why I ain't get that.
What is
It's
it?
a sandwich. Yeah.
Okay, and then we have yours, right?
The chicken curry and the
Chicken curry.
Sí, and you want the salad, not the sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Exacto, todo.
¿Es todo?
Sí.
Curry chicken.
Muchísimas gracias.
That's
Why? Okay, so Mexico is already a vibe. It's the first day we were there, and we saw a mariachi band. We see people dancing in the middle of the street, which you're gonna see in the next clip, and not recorded because I was too busy trying to translate for my mom and my sister. But my sister was able to get mango from the side of the street, you know what I'm saying, with tahini and chamoy. Like, we were living real native local lives, like we lived in Mexico for forever. And you might have noticed in the clip from us eating lunch, my cousin speaks Spanish, but when we were with her, she was able to translate for us. But when we were not with her, I had to put my Spanish skills to the test. If you know me, I do know Spanish. I can write it better than I can hear it, and I can hear it better than I can speak it, but I do know a little something something. And so I did have to be, you know what I'm saying, Duolingo for my family for the whole 4 days we were in Mexico. But it's cool.
The guy drove off. I hope that coffee ain't gonna knock him down.
That was y'all getting.
No, I told her.
He shouldn't have drove off.
What you mean he shouldn't have drove off? That's his job.
Say that again.
My mom told me to leave our coffee on the seat.
Do you what?
Leave the coffee on the seat. The guy just drove off. I said, I hope the coffee ain't spilling the van.
I like I hope the coffee popping off for the man.
And she talking about he shouldn't have drove off.
Well, I'm sorry.
Next time I'm gonna stop listening to you. Every time I listen to you, something goes wrong.
Well, good thing I didn't tell you to leave your fanny pack or nothing else on there.
Please, I think it would have went bye-bye.
Ladies and gents, you can see this place used to be a very important ceremonial center located in the north part of the Aztec city we call Tlatelolco. Let me show you. So this is Mexico City during the Aztec time. I don't bite you. So this is Mexico City during the Aztec times. The main part of Aztec City was called Mexico Tenochtitlan. Nowadays is the downtown, the historical center of the city. But here in the north used to be another very important ceremonial center we call Tlatelolco. Actually, originally belongs to another kingdom, to Tacuba Kingdom. When Aztecs and Tacuba joined the kingdoms, they joined the cities and became part of the Aztec city. That's why you can see some remains of Aztec temples. Used to be a very important ceremonial center from Aztecs, as well used to be a market. According to researchers, people from many places used to come here to make commercial trades, and everything was perfectly classified like modern markets nowadays. In general, used to be a ceremonial center and a market from the Aztec culture we call Tlatelolco. As you know, until 16th century, the Aztecs was the most important indigenous cultures in the center of Mexico before the Europeans came to America. Now, after that, Europeans arrived, Spanish, Hernán Cortés, and started the War of the Spanish Conquest. 3 years during the War of the Spanish Conquest, since 1519 to 1521. By consequence, about different political troubles the Aztecs got with another indigenous cultures, the Spanish managed to get alliances with the enemies in order to get armies and managed to make the Spanish conquest in Mexico. Finally, after 2 years of the war, during the War of the Spanish Conquest, At the day August 13 in the year 1521, the last confrontation, the last battle between Spanish and Aztecs was just here in Tlatelolco. In this place, finally, Hernán Cortés won the war and was the Spanish conquest in Mexico. By consequence, after the Spanish conquest, Hernán Cortés entered that church. It's one of the oldest churches built in Mexico, original from 16th century. The church was dedicated to the patron and protector of the Spanish soldiers we call Santiago Matamoros. In Mexico was called such as Santiago Tlatelolco. That place as well used to be the first indigenous college to teach the indigenous people how to speak Spanish language, how to learn the Christian beliefs. In general, it used to be a very important place during the colonial times in Mexico, because such as El Colegio de Santiago or El Colegio de Santa Cruz. You can see the church and the college was working until the last part of 18th century. It used to be a very important place during the colonial times in Mexico. By consequence, after the Spanish conquest, the Aztec temples were destroyed and the stones was used to build the colonial buildings. You can see how the stones of the temples are the same stones of the church, not only Mexico, in Latin America in general. The indigenous people were destroyed and the stones was used to build the colonial buildings. And because of the temples, the remains were very well underground for almost 500 years, and it was the here the area and the temple restoration in order we can have an idea how it looks like this place originally. In this case, we just appreciate part of the system of the constructions of the temples. I'm going to talk more about that in the pyramids, but in general, every 52 years, indigenous cultures used to celebrate New Age like a new centuries, and every 52 years, they used it to partially destroy the first buildings and build a new buildings on the one on each other, like an onion, one on each other. In this case, we can see part of this. You can see the platform. This is the first temple, the smallest one from 14th century, and you can see facades one behind the other. Represents how this temple was making bigger little by little along the years. According to researchers, when the Spanish arrived to Mexico, the main temple, the biggest one, originally sized approximately 40 meters high, had 8 meters per each side, and double the shrines at the top, dedicated to the main patron gods of the Aztecs. As you know, ladies and gents, nowadays in Mexico, we are not indigenous, we are not Europeans, we are mestizos, mixture between two races, mixture between two cultures, what we call the Three Cultures Square, Plaza de las Tres. Okay, thank you very much for attention.
No hay problema. Okay, chicos y chicas, welcome again. I want to start to give you some information about the agaves that were very important in our history. We're in the semi-desert area, we're in the center of Mexico. We have around a lot of mountains, volcanoes that died a long time ago. Then we have cactus, some corn, squash, or bran, what we have here when it's raining. But it's important that I give you some information about this huge agave. This is the biggest one that you're gonna find in my country. We have 247 types of agaves, but this is a special, and it is the local plant that was named here maguey. Maguey is the local name. One maguey like this lives only 15 years, blooms one time in the life and dies. Right, you watch, it has a lot of leaves around, but in the middle it has a huge piece that we call here meduloide. This is the heart of the plant. This is the center where the new leaves are burning. When the plant has around 14 years old, it will produce more leaves, it was on a longer pause, the flowers on the top, and dies. We eat the flowers. We use the pods for building our houses that after we cover with the leaves of the plant. we can eat it all. So we made a lot of choices, but we're gonna start to use the plant when it is young, 10 years old, and we will cut all the heart. We take the piece that I tell you we put here. Mayolote, if I cut, I have something like this. It is small, but you can watch now the leaves here, and all of them have a hard and sharp point. Ancient people gonna use just a volcanic glass, obsidiana, for made tools that we're gonna use because they never use metal. They cut it hard, and after they scrub with a sharp spoon daily, morning and afternoon. We're gonna make a little hole in the center. We want that the juice that we have into the leaves go down and skip it now into the heart. Sweet, healthy, delicious. It was called here agua miel or honey water. With the agua miel, we're gonna make a lot of choices. Today you can buy some syrup, agave syrup. We made candies, hot drinks. But ancient people drink natural or they keep it. But when you keep the liquid of the plant, it's gonna ferment it by itself very quickly because it's rich in sugar, vitamins, and it has some bacteria that help us to ferment it faster. Then we have a pulque. Let's get please because it's sunny. It's sunny now. Okay. The pulque was very important for the ancient cultures because when we don't have a good season, when it's isn't raining a lot, we don't have a lot of seeds for it, okay? Then the pulque gonna have proteins, vitamins, amino, sugar, probiotics, amino acids. Pulque healthy for ancient people, pregnant women and kids, low alcohol, 3%. Pulque with a little more alcohol was fermented by 30 hours, 35 hours, give us 14% of alcohol. It is magic, it is special for the hierarchy. Why? When they drink a lot, the alcohol go to the head, and in a very short time, they are talking with more than one god. The legend tells us that we have 400 gods of the alcohol. Now imagine how many pulque they drink for start this special connection. Okay, pulque also today people tell us that was the reason that we have a lot of population in the country. Everybody tells us that it's aphrodisiac. Really, the legend tells us that the plant is the same Majagual, the goddess of the alcohol, that was mother of the 400 gods. That's the reason that they tell us it's aphrodisiac. But really, it's healthy, it's energetic, and that's a good test. I'm gonna give to you after when we finish some for that you drink. Okay? Then, now, the leaves of the heart give us a couple pieces of a natural paper that we call here michote. It's a paper that we use here in the area for cook. We're gonna use for wrap meat, cactus, fruits, salt, and chili. I'm gonna peel off now, it's very easy. Then Aztec people, another civilization, they paint maps and codex on the paper. You can watch today at the National Museum of Anthropology, Mexico City. They paint and they cover with big wax to conserve it black. Wow. Then we have shampoo for clean. We have here Gisher Shishitu, shampoo for clean, antiseptic, antibiotic. It's very, very good shampoo. I'm going to show you now how we can take a little more. Okay, the top. All of them are made with the point that we got from the leaves of the plant. You go remember that they don't have another choices for using. I'm going to cut here with a little piece of obsidian, volcanic glass. I'm going to cut it here around. Then I want to show you that I have a needle and thread together and ready to sew it. But we have a lot of fiber in all the plant. When we clean it, when we got the fiber, we can make big threads. We paint it with bright colors, and after we use a belt along. With the belt loom, we're making cloth, a lot of textiles, so many practical pieces. And if you visit now the Basilica of Guadalupe, Mexico City, you can watch the famous Tin of Juan Diego, India. That is a long piece that was made on a loom, but it was used to carry very heavy pieces on the back. Okay, salud. The fiber was used also for made jewelry, the big necklaces with a lot of stones, chains, and something else. Also, the base for the headdress and a lot of clothes. This is an agave, very practical, very rich and basic for us, for the Teotihuacan people. Today we continue with the tradition. Now is the season, the time for gather worms, red worms that are coming from the heart of the plant. Red worms that we call chinicuiles that are nice. We have here the Pulque, here in front, please. Take one of those. Vamos. Don't drink yet, please.
This is not tequila or mezcal yet. This is actually the liquid that they make from that plant that she was showing us and talking about that they do so much with.
I join with you in the happy hour. Okay, chicos. No. Hey, chicos, vamos a hablar español. Muy bien. Well, ¿hablamos español?
No.
You try? You try?
Yes.
Okay. No, it's longer. We say here, agüita fresca de las verdes matas.
Agüitas frescas de las verdes matas.
Tú me tumbas.
Tú me tumbas.
Y tú me matas.
Y tú me matas.
Tú me haces.
Tú me haces
andar a gatas.
andar en gatas.
Y a veces. Abrir las patas.
Abrir.
Now, Spanish. Arriba.
Arriba.
Abajo.
Abajo.
Al centro.
Al centro.
Para adentro.
Para adentro. It's not bad.
What do you think?
It tastes like
Different, no? Now, please.
aloe kind of stuff.
I'm gonna put a salt on the limes. I will give to you a little shot of tequila. Okay. The tequila was made in Jalisco. And we're gonna use a type of agave that we call here Agave Azul Tequilana Weber. Okay. We're gonna take a lime that is really salty. We will squeeze the lime using our mouth, but we hold it. Then we drink the tequila. We made a mix into the mouth. Okay. Come on, do it. From the mines, huge pieces, huge rocks. It's volcanic glass. Remember, a piece of glass is complicated. Okay, it's hard to carve. It's easy to break. It's so sharp, but it's beautiful. When the people discover the volcanic stone, they're gonna start to make just sharp pieces by percussion, help it with other stones that they're gonna use also for the pyramids in the city, basalt, andesita, and other ones. Stone by stone, they are making arrowheads, knives, axes, weapons, scalpels for surgeries, knives for shave, and a lot of choices. They're gonna use here in the area, but also it is the best money that they have for commerce, for change it. Then they travel a lot. Do you remember I am talking about the Tilma of Juan Diego Indian? They carry merchandise. They walk a lot. They go to the south, to the Gulf of Pacifico, north, and they change a lot of minerals by our obsidian. Then they start to carve obsidian, help it with hardest rocks. They're gonna use jade, quartz, silex, pedernal, hydroxide, and something else. But they spend a very long time to make something. Today, if you visit the museum, you can find into the Teotihuacan and Aztec room a lot of choices. Small pieces for yearly decorations, huge masks, containers, gods, and so many things. Mirrors in obsidian, statues, pieces for decoration, amulets, and a lot of choices. But I have a couple mirrors here. I hope that you can use for watching the sun. We don't have too much because we have a clothes there. But the mirrors were very important in the ancient time. Why? People were used for watch the faces.
The sun.
Turn around, please.
Look at the sun, Grandma.
Come on, try to see. It is a little thing, but you need to put
The sun.
Tapa, así mira.
Can you even see anything through it?
Myself.
That's what I thought. All right, just checking.
No more.
Heard what?
See, Es que no hay mucho, pero sí se alcanza a ver con ese delgado.
I saw myself.
Con el delgado. Watch yourself. You are yourself.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Can you see stuff?
You saw
Okay.
yourself too.
Eclipse. Sound, este es el más delgado. Puedes usar este. With the tiny one.
Closer to
Closer.
your eye.
Oh, okay.
You do.
I see.
You do, bravo.
Okay, so if you're kind of confused about what's happening, she moved on from telling us about that honey plant to telling us about the obsidian that they take from the ground and decorate and use it and make all types of things. But this object in my hand right now is actually a mirror, but if you put it close to your eye or the camera lens, you can see the sun like without hurting yourself. So that's why I keep going in and out from showing you that I'm holding a mirror, I'm putting the mirror on top of the camera like a filter, and then I'm looking directly at the sun. So all of these black masks, or even like some of them are in the shape of animals, they're all made from obsidian. This wonderful lady explained to us that even like I just had in frame of the camera like this blue one, or there's a red one kind of sort of in the frame right now. Those are all obsidian, and how they get them to be different colors is that they mix them with different minerals or in different type of water solutions, and that's how they get the volcanic glass to become different colors.
Life and death. It's pigmented good. Shining. Balance. Perfect. Okay. Sure. That's okay. This is obsidian also, I tell you. But we're using other stones, like the aventurinas, like the jade, like the lapis lazuli. And after we're going to use the red sculptures for use as a mosaic for putting lay. We made a beautiful building also the way that's it. According to this kind of system of constructions that we don't know exactly what was used for, but what is true is according to this kind of system of constructions, the sound report in the buildings, they made the echoes, create vibrations, and it was used to charge the energy during the ceremonies. We will make an experiment, everybody together, okay? So looking in that way, we will clap 5 times together, okay? Together. Okay, ready? Ready? Where's the rhythm? Una. 2, 3. You hear the echoes? You hear the echoes?
Yeah.
Okay. One more time. You give the vibration. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Last time. But together. Okay. Little bit slower. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You hear the echoes?
Yeah.
Different, no? You can see it. You can feel the echoes about these buildings. Create vibrations and ways to charge energy during the ceremonies. We guess the musicians was put in the platform, and when they play the drums, the sound is louder because it's bigger, because the vibrations are higher, and the energy that was used to charge in this place used to be amazing, awesome. In general, you know, the archaeological sites represents holy places, was used for the societies to charge energy, to get benefits in the society for different reasons, they good look, good health, etc. Actually, until nowadays, you can feel good energy here, you can feel good vibrations here, and that's why people are coming here. They feel a good place, and they think it's very good to charge energy for good look, good health, etc., etc. It represents the holy places to make charge energy during the ceremonies, to bring benefits in the society. Okay, so just give me a few minutes more. We go to the platform to tell you about the first speech. After that, I would like to show you the palaces. I don't know if you want. The idea was to going upstairs to show you the remains of the palaces that are in that part. We can go to the balcony to tell the last speech for your pictures, of course. And after that, we are free to explore. Okay, so we go to the platform in just a few minutes. Let's go.
Okay.
Especially the red color that was very important according to the city is getting from the nopal. You know the nopal is the cactus. There's a kind of insect that is called grana cochinilla that burns a kind of eggs, and when we crush the eggs, we can get the natural pigment in red color. Look.
Ellos entienden un poco español.
Se va a degradar con lo que es el limón.
The graduation of the color is we get it with lime, with lime juice.
Oh, wow.
Vamos a ocupar lo que es la planta de tabaquillo, que es familia del tabaco. Este por su alto contenido de clorofila no se va a oxidar.
You understand? Tabaquillo is from tobacco families, and there's a lot of chlorophyll. That's why it's not getting oxidation, and it's the way to get the green color.
Vamos con lo que es la planta de cempasúchil.
Cempasúchil flower. The biggest flower in the center of Mexico, used in the ceremonies from the Holiday of the Dead, is to get the yellow color. Verde amarelo como la bandera brasileira.
Yes, sí.
It's not finished, it's going to be surprise. Tiene otro color, ¿verdad? Ajá.
Vamos con lo que es el mineral, que es el lápiz lazuli.
Now they get the minerals to get the yellow color we call lapis lazuli. Mineral colors. They have to crush to get the dust, and from the dust they get the color. They use the cactus juice to make the paste, and they get the painting. That's the stump crush and green dust, and is to get the yellow, the blue one.
¿Qué es eso?
Es un mineral, roca molida, lápiz lazuli, que se hace polvo, y con la jugo de cactus se obtiene el tinte para pintar el color. Lápiz lazuli se encuentra también en Sudamérica, en Chile.
Ah, muy bien. Chica, ¿quién enseñó a hacer eso? ¿Quién ha enseñado a usted a hacer eso?
¿Quién te enseñó a hacerlo? Su tío. The teacher, the master.
Good job, yeah.
It's a small demonstration how people get the natural colors from the pigments for the plants, and that's why the way they used to be painted and decorated with mud paintings used to be like this. I will show you inside, but the peanut painting was found inside the sea to get the natural colors. Un aplauso.
Thank you. Gracias.
Es un artista, es un artista.
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Georgia.
New Jersey.
Nueva Jersey.
Sí.
New York.
Yes.
New York and
Welcome. This is music de Mariachi. Welcome, New York. Okay, welcome. Claro que sí, venga ya, muchachos. Is it good music Vicente Fernandez? Okay. Vicente Fernandez.
Fernandez music. I don't know what that is though.
The King. La Bamba. El Rey. Okay.
Mom.
El Rey.
I'm just gonna shout.
I like Fernandez is a really famous singer in Mexico.
Okay.
So they're gonna play one of his songs.
Okay.
He passed away. Not La Bamba. That's
Tendrás que llorar.
Llorar y llorar, llorar y llorar.
Dirás que no me existe, pero vas a estar muy triste y así te vas a quedar. Por dinero y sin dinero, siempre lo que quiero. En mi palabra está la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, ni nadie él me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey.
Mexican tradition, Lady Guadalupe in Mexico was a miracle. She appears like a miracle to an indigenous man named Juan Diego in the month of December in the year 1531. The real name was Cuauhtlahuac in the Aztec name, but the Christian name was Juan Diego. We should understand was during the first process, the conversion of the Christianity, not only Mexico, in Latin America in general, few years after the Spanish conquest in 16th century. By consequence, according to Mexican tradition, Lady Guadalupe, she chose to Juan Diego to let to know her with the people, with the population, and the history said, the legend said, the first time when Lady Guadalupe and Juan Diego, they were meeting, she asked to Juan Diego, go to the priest, and asked to the priest to build a chapel at the top of the hill, in the place where was located the last Aztec temple, because she will be the new protector of Mexican people. You can have an idea. At the beginning, Juan Diego, he don't really understand what happened. He was very confused. He was very scared about that. But whatever, he went to the priest, talked about the apparition, the miracle of Lady Guadalupe. But obviously, anybody believed to him. The priest said it's not possible, like an indigenous man who is only learning how to speak Spanish language, who is only learning the Christian beliefs, appears like a miracle Lady Guadalupe. That's not possible. They were asking for a proofs. But he didn't have proofs, anyone. And looking for proofs, the history said, the legend said, Lady Guadalupe and Juan Diego, they were talking 5 times in different days, different places. The last time was at morning, December 12th in the year 1531. The legend said, the last time when Lady Guadalupe and Juan Diego, they were talking, she told him, Juan Diego, my little son, you don't worry. I know to anybody believes you about me, I will give you the proof. You should go at the top of the Tepeyac hill and you will find a rosary plant with roses. Just cut the roses and bring the roses to the priest. That will be the proof. But let me tell you, ladies and gents, in 16th century it was impossible to find roses in Mexico. Rosas de Castilla we call, it's a European flower, foreign from Europe. Can you imagine in 16th century, in winter time, this kind of flowers in Mexico was impossible. Actually, Juan Diego didn't know the flowers because they're from Europe. But later Juan Diego said, okay. So he went to the hill, he found the roses, he cut the roses and carried the roses on the clouds. In those times, indigenous people used to wear kind of clothes hidden front we call ayate, like a fabric. The legend says Juan Diego found the roses, cut the roses, carried the roses in the clouds like a bag, and he went to look for the priest. The legend said the great miracle of Lady Guadalupe was at the moment when Juan Diego showed the roses to the priest, the roses thrown, and the painting, the image of Lady Guadalupe appeared like a miracle in the clouds. According to the legend, anybody painting the image appeared by itself was a miracle, was a great miracle. So in that moment when the priest saw the painting of Lady Guadalupe in the Juan Diego clouds, they put on X. Obviously they believed him and they immediately sent to construct the first chapel dedicated to Lady Guadalupe. So that's history, that's the Mexican tradition. The legend of Lady Guadalupe was wrote in a book that is called Eni Campo Mogua. Actually it was wrote in Spanish and Aztec language. represents the mixture between two traditions, mixture between Christian beliefs adapted to the indigenous cultures, indigenous population. And as you can see, this is the famous Tepeyac Hill. Suppose in that place was located the last Aztec temple. Suppose in that place it lays Guadalupe, they were talking. In that place he found the roses. That's why in 16th century Franciscan priests sent to construct the first chapel dedicated to Ladies Guadalupe. You can see some small chapel because we are the first years about Christian religion in Mexico in 16th century. By consequence, 200 years after that, in 18th century, Ladies Guadalupe was very famous. Many people were coming here. They need another bigger church, and Mexican church sent to construct the second Basilica de Guadalupe.
Love you.
Alright, you too.
So we got Mexican sushi. Right, Yana? We split it. It was 30 of them. Dang, she almost done.
I was hungry.
What, you swallowing them?
Alright, so this is the third day of our trip. It's the second excursion that we had. So basically both days we went on tours and the tours just showed us different things. This man's name is Raphael, and what he's doing right now is he's actually like etching out a design on a piece of metal that you would put on like a necklace or something like that. So he handcrafts jewelry and he has his own jewelry store, and it's also other like souvenirs inside of this shop. So the whole time, as beautiful as it was, I was wondering, like, why is this silver shop a part of this excursion tour? And then we saw that Raphael actually made the replica of the necklace from the movie Titanic, as well as other props and jewelry for other movies that Leonardo DiCaprio has been in, like Romeo and Juliet. So if you look in that frame, you can see a picture of Raphael and Leonardo DiCaprio. So this building is actually where the Olympics was when Mexico City hosted it in 1968. Next, we took a boat ride through Gardens of Flowers. It was actually very beautiful. We rode on this boat with the large table in the middle. All the boats were named after women, so as you can see, the boat in front of us just said La Princesa. They all had beautiful names and were decorated. It was really cool. We just rode on this little river, and people alongside of us like had boats. Some boats had food, some boats had drinks, some boats had street corn, and they would like attach themselves to our bigger boat and ask us if we wanted any food. So y'all, we had a whole dinner on this little floating garden boat. We had tacos, we had street corn, they had beer, we had soda, all without even having to leave the boat. There were even mariachi bands that would come onto our boat and perform on like this little platform that were on each side.
Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. De domingo a domingo, cielito lindo, te vengo a ver. Tú eres golosa, ahí estás bien algona. ¿Y cómo se mata el gusano? 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 Así se mata el gusano. 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 Y baile meneito que la meneito, todos queremos que venga la luna, todos queremos que venga la luna, la luna por aquí, la luna por allá, la luna por allá.
And the last thing we did on this tour was see Frida Kahlo's house. This is the house that she was born in, the house that she lived in, and the house that she died in. This is the food that we ate on our very last day before we headed to the airport. It was so sad to leave Mexico City. It was beautiful there. I enjoyed my time. It was nice to have quality time with my family, exploring a new country, seeing new things. And the street had like vendors that day that weren't out any other days that we were there. So we decided to look around. They had like meats on the side of the street like they were selling, like a little meat market. They had knickknacks and bags and stuff like that. So we were just looking around before we left.
So guys, change of plans. It's 12:50 and we're in Atlanta at the Holiday Inn Express because I just had, it wasn't the worst plane ride because, you know what I'm saying, like we're still breathing, we have all our luggage, like I'm really afraid of going somewhere and I'm losing my luggage, so it's not the worst, but it was very close. It's probably like the next step under. We got to the airport fine. We went through security and all that stuff. Everything was fine. And then we boarded the airplane, and then they're like, oh, they changed the runway that we were supposed to originally take off from. So the new runway was not big enough for the plane. So they were trying to figure that out. And then we're like, in order for us to take off from the second runway that's smaller, 15 people have to volunteer to get off the plane. And they were like, we'll give you $600 worth of gift card and accommodate like the hotel or whatever for you staying in Mexico another day. So then eventually, probably like 50 minutes later, they got 15 people to volunteer to get off the plane. So then we eventually take off, and I feel like even then we didn't immediately take off. But we didn't, because those people that got off, whoever had checked bags, like they had to identify their bags from under the plane. And then after they found all their bags, and that took an extra like 35-45 minutes, we took off. Then when we got to Atlanta, we were sitting for like, it had to be 35 minutes. It had to be 35 minutes. And we were waiting for the like jetway to connect. Like nobody was at the gate to connect the plane to the building. So we missed our connecting flight. We was gonna miss it anyway because we literally took off from Mexico an hour and 30 minutes after we were supposed to take off. And then it was an extra like 35-40 minutes when we got to Atlanta, just sitting on the plane waiting for them to connect the jetway. Then they gave us like hotel like vouchers or whatever, because they made basically everybody on the plane had a connecting flight, like everybody. So they gave us hotel vouchers. So then we had to go from the international side of the airport to the domestic side of the airport via shuttle. Then from the shuttle, from the domestic side, we took another shuttle from the airport to the hotel. Then we checked in. Now we're getting food because literally we left Mexico at 1 o'clock, so we only ate breakfast. And we only ate breakfast, and we had chips on the plane, like breakfast and chips. That's not sufficient. It's 12:50 in the morning. We were supposed to be arriving at home. So our new flight is leaving at 7:50 in the morning. So yeah, 7:50 in the morning, we'll leave Atlanta, go back to Philly by like 9-10ish. I've never had an experience like this, like ever, like never, ever. And I'll never find out till again. It's just that I'm that. But yeah, my stomach is touching my back. I got to go.